All right, before I kickstart again, quick introduction. I'm Benjamin Otri, a lead software engineer from Benogis Innovations, the incredible team behind this Edulink and our network system. And I'm your host for today's session for Edulink Connect. We are kicking started with new features that have been released onto the system. So I'm going to share my screen and 1 second. Actually, let me log out. Yep. And then I'm going to share my screen. Right. So I believe my screen should be visible now. Yep, there we go. So that's the system over there. So this is not new to us. We know this is where we always go through, isn't it? Yeah, so this is where we always go through when we want to use the system. Let me put everyone on mute so that we focus here. All right, just that's it. Thank you. Cool. So what are the new changes that have come onto the system? Let's start with that. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to log in through my account, and I'll be stating the admin side a lot because that's where they update most of it is. Okay, so what is the number one update that has been released? But I want to bring this to attention. This is a feature that is on the system. It has always been on the system, but just highlighting it one more time. Whenever you log in, whether you are on your mobile or on a big screen, any page you see this icon, is it icon? Should I say icon? This blue play button. Let me try zooming in a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. This blue play button. If you don't understand anything around that page and you see that the page has that, kindly click on it. It's a video, yeah, that explains how the page works. So whenever you see that blue play button, if you don't understand anything on the page, click on it, a video will pop up, and then you play the video. Yeah, so that's it. You use this to play the video, and someone is in. 1 second, let me let them in. Okay, that's it. We'll continue. So that is one thing I want to bring to your attention. Secondly, let's move on to the new changes that have happened. We got this recommendation coming in that is going to be very, very handy when you are marking the attendance. The system help you know whether you've already marked it or not. So when you go to students and you go to attendance, and this is where we mark the attendance as usual, just as we all know. So you go to students, you go to attendance, and mark attendance on top there. Now you select your class you want to mark the attendance for. So say I'm going to mark my attendance for class 2, and I select the date. I'm marking my attendance for, let's say, on Friday, yesterday. 1 second, someone is in. Just gonna bring them in. That's it. When you search, now you will see this note appearing. Kindly take note of that. Yeah, whenever you are trying to mark your attendance, check this. It tells you total present, that is 0. Total absent, that is 0. Total not marked, that is 33. This tells you that, okay, you've not marked this attendance. So let's go ahead and mark it. So let's say all the students are present. Now you can see when I put it to all present, it changes. That I said I'm recording for all present 33, and now you can see the figures changes. So let's say this student was absent, Patrick was absent, just as we do as usual. Zainab was absent, and then we record. That's it. Success. Attendance recorded successfully. Now let's say we are going to record attendance for Thursday. We go to Thursday, we search for it. Again, the note is going to come, and then you follow through. This tells you that, okay, you've not marked. So now let's say we want to also go back on Friday. This is where you might be thinking, okay, have I marked it or not? So these are the instances. So if I check on the Friday and I search, now I can see total present 33, total absent is 2, meaning I've marked the attendance. So I don't have to be remarking it. Yes, I don't have to be remarking the attendance. So this is a very handy feature that have been released and we want to bring to your attention. And this is for staff and all administrators as well. So whenever you are marking the attendance, kindly check the note you see on top when you search for your class and the date to see whether, okay, the total attendance has a figure there and your not marked is 0. That will tell you that, okay, I've already marked this one. Let me move on. And also, as usual, you can use the preview attendance report to check the number of students you've marked the attendance for, especially once the term is getting to an end. So when I go to class and I go to my class 2 and I search, this will show me all my students and the days I've marked them to be present, those who are absent. Ideally, with this, you're supposed to see the same figures for almost all the students. So as you can see, I've marked 6 days, no absent. But this one is saying days present is 5, 1 absent, meaning it's 6. So they are all on the same page. Yeah, so they are all on the same page. And 1 second, I'm trying to admit people in. Okay, it's gonna be a bit. Okay, there we go. It should be good now. All right, cool. So that's it for the attendance feature. That's it. So when you're recording, just always look for that note to read it. That's one of the features. Now, if you're an administrator and you're on this session, we would like to bring to your attention that we have this feature that has been released called Attendance Analytics. Attendance Analytics. What it does is it helps you know the classes which attendance have been submitted or not. And this is to all staff now. When you submit your attendance, administrators will be able to see whether you submitted or not. How does it work? If I'm to preview that quickly, let me zoom back a little bit so everything becomes a bit vivid. Okay, that's it. So when you go to students, attendance, and attendance analytics, now you will see this yellow stuff showing there. What it does is it has listed all the classes in the school, and when the color is yellow, it means the attendance for that class has not been marked. So let me change the date to yesterday, 17th. Now you can see all the ones that have not been marked is yellow. So not marked, as you can see on top here, not marked. So from crèche to JHS 3, the only class that have submitted the attendance is class 2. So this is very, very handy. It helps you know which class have been submitted or not. So this means we, the staff, class teachers that submit attendance, if you don't submit it, it's been recorded, and the school administrators will be able to take action once they want to, especially addressing these issues of the attendance not being submitted. And this should let you also know that indeed you are doing your work as expected. Yep, so that's a very brilliant feature that has been released. And when you scroll down as well, you can use this to track a whole time range. So for this whole week, from the 12th to the 17th, so far this class attendance, this is the number of students that have been coming to school, and this is the number that has not been marked. So you can also see in terms of week range or date range, okay, the attendance, how the submission is going on. So that is for your sorry, I'm trying to admit someone in. Good, that's it. Anyone from the team, if you could assist with admission, that would be very, very good. All right, thank you. We'll move on. So that is one of the features. So we've talked about 2 features right now. The first feature was when you are marking attendance, the note that shows, if you select your class and the date, you will see this note, and that note should tell you if your total not marked is 0, then it means you've already marked. But if your total marked is more than 0, it means you've not marked the attendance for that day. So this is to help us know, we the ones that submit the attendance. And for the administrators, you can use the analytics to view whether the submission have been done or not. Right, we move on to the next feature we would like to bring to your attention. This is also for the administrators. Now under the students, for the guardians, Now you can add a guardian and you will link the guardian to a student. So earlier, when you are registering a new student, if you remember, when you get to the guardian information, that's where you fill the guardian. And if the guardian detail changes, you also have to go through the same process when you are editing the student's profile. Then you change the guardian information. But if the guardian has changed for a particular student, you can either link it to the guardian if the guardian is already in the system, or you can create the guardian straight from here and you link the students to it. So once you enter the guardian details, you select the student, start typing for the student's name, and you can find a student here. You can add more than one student. So let's say we are linking the students to these students to this guardian. You can select the student name, you search again for another one. It will be listing all the students there for you, and you will be able to assign them to the guardian you are creating. Also, if the guardians list comes up, and you go to view a guardian wards or the students for that guardian, you have the option of also linking students as well from here. So if the ward is already there and you want to make correction from a student linking to a guardian, you can use this to link that student from the previous guardian to the original guardian. So this is for the administrators. This becomes very handy when you are sending a broadcast message or an SMS to all guardians. So when you go to communication and you go to mail and SMS, and let's say we want to send SMS messages to all guardians about a PTA meeting coming up or any incident, maybe there was a promptu how do you call it, holiday or something like that. When you are sending the messages to the guardians, so that the message goes to the correct guardian, that's why you need to work onto the guardian to make sure that the correct student is assigned to the correct guardian, so that the message will be going to that particular guardian. Or you might be wanting to send a broadcast message to a particular class guardians. So if I go to compose SMS, I have this contact helper here. I'll be able to find students based on a class. So let's say we want to send this message to all KG or nursery 1 guardians, and then I'll search it. It's going to list all the nursery 1 parents for me, or the guardians, and I can add all of them, and now the message will go to all of these parents. So if the student has not been linked to the parent or the guardian, the message will not reach the guardian. That is why we have to make sure that the guardian list of every student is properly linked, so that when you are sending a message, it will reach the destination you are aiming to send a message to. That is another feature we wanted to bring to your attention. So you are able to add guardians, and you are able to link a guardian to a student, so that everything will be sorted correctly as expected. Right, so that is the third feature. Now we move on to the fourth feature, and that is very we are so happy to launch this, especially when it came to the attention. A lot of requests came in, like class position. That was a bit of a problem. So after the assessment, if you remember, when you view a student report, the only thing you get is average score and total score and grade, if they are grade applicable. But now we are glad to let you know that the system has applied positioning, which is very powerful. And the positioning system is very wonderful. Let me quickly expand that. So when you go to academics and you go to you go to report, my bad. So academics, report. So you go to academics, the last menu is report. Now you will see class position report. We are also working on the subject performance report, and also 1 second, trying to admit people in as well. Okay, there we go. Right, so you select the class. So let's say class 1, and we want to find the positioning for a particular term. There you have it. It's going to list the students that were in that class for that term, who topped the class around that time, who was the first, who was the second. You have all the position list here, and this can be played on a notice board or any way you would like to send this communication to. The beauty of this is, if you are having a stream of classes, what I mean is, some classes are like A, B, C. Yeah, I think there are some classes here like JHS 1A, JHS 1B, JHS 1C. If I go to JHS 1A and I try to sort for this particular class, sorry, someone is in, let me admit them quickly. Right, thank you for the admission. Okay, now that should give me a full focus on this. Okay, good. So when we go to JHS 1A and we view the assessment for, let's see, do we have any assessment for this? Let's check quickly. Okay, it looks like there is none. All right, let's put it to all and search for this particular assessment. There you have it. Brilliant. Now, when you sort the class positions, when you search for the class positions for all the students, now there is no students assigned to A and B for this one, but what it was actually going to do is it does the entire positioning for the entire stream. What that means is it will tell you the student who topped the overall class stream from A, B, C. So that gives you a clear view of, okay, those students that are highly performing, because now you've combined all the stream. So who was the best performing? This was a problem when you are doing it manually yourself. You have to go to one class, who was the best student, who was the first student there. You come and check the total score, you compare to the following class, and it's like, that is an unending process. But now on the system, you just do two things. You go to academics, you go to reports, you go to class positions, you search the class, and you search. I said two things. That is like four things there. But it's so easy. You don't put any pen on paper on it. The system will just pick it up for you. And it's not just telling you the position. It tells you the scores as well. So this student led the class with 665 score. The next one was 658. So you can tell how close the students' performances. And this gives you a clear overview. And it's very handy. One thing we advise schools to do is, when you are setting yourself for these competitions, like you are having regional quizzes, you are trying to do quizzes for the school itself, this can also help you make decisions about, okay, now we are performing the quiz based on average students, and hence looking at the system and the data we have, these are the students we can do the assessment on or the quiz on. We are going regional. How do we know this student is actually a very good student in, and hence we should put him as part of the quiz team? This is there for you. You can be previewing it to tell, okay, overall, these are the overall students that are, academically performing, and they can be a good representative for the school in terms of these quizzes, which is a very handy feature. You can print it. Again, as we said, you can also export it as an Excel file, and if whichever data you would like to use it for, you can go ahead and use it. Coming up very soon, we are going to have the subject performance report as well. What we aim for this to do is now going to do this performance according to subject. So which students is best in maths, overall performing students in science in this subject, and then you have the student performance report as well. This is going to tell you overall best students from this term to this term, this year to this year. So look out for that. But currently the positions are there. We wanted to highlight that as well. We move on to the next feature we like to bring to your attention. Sorry, I'm going through this a little bit quickly. I'm almost running out of time, so I'll be able to catch up with questions if you have any. So the next feature, this is typically for the administrators who handle accounts. If you go to finances, you'll see that one more menu has been added. Earlier it was up to account summary. Now you have EOD report. So what is EOD report? That is end of day report. So what it does for you is, when you close for the day, you want to know the sales that came in, not the sales, sorry, the income and expenses that came in. When you navigate to finances and EOD, you'll be able to pick them up from the end of day report. It tells you a summary, executive summary, total income, expenses, and it gives you a net income, and it tells you your fees collection rate for that particular day, or the date. Sorry about that. Or the date range that you filtered your end of report on. So with this, I have currently, it's telling me that, okay, according to this date range or this period from September 1st to December 18th, this is the total income, this is the total expenditure. And not just that, it breaks it down for you. So okay, you know that school fees, this is the amount of school fees that came in, and it tells you the percentage that you earn for school fees. The canteen sales that came in, this is how much that came in for canteen. Bookshop, this is the sales that came in for bookshop. Transportation, this is what came in for transportation. If you have any other income, it will also list it for you. So it breaks it down. And when you go to expenses, it does the same. And the beauty is we've added this analysis tracker as well to tell you your expected versus actual. So this is for fees collection only. So how was the performance of fees collection for this period? And you have the performance indicator on the right for your view as well. And you can print this. So if you like to file this every day, you can print it. Once you're done with your accounting, you file it, you put it into the accounting file, whichever way you would like to have it. Very, 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 very handy. We wanted to highlight it for you. Now, the last feature I would like to bring to your attention, and then we'll go on and take questions, is Edulink policies. So the system is governed by policies, and what these policies are, it tells you the what the system is built in terms of the governance around it. Yeah, so you are able to know your responsibilities. This is for administrators again. You know your responsibilities, things you are eligible for on the system. There are so many things you might be eligible for, and the policies help you know that. So when you go to administration and you go to Edulink policies, you see all the policies listed here. So for example, what is our data retention policy? How long do we keep your school data? And your backup and disaster recovery. If something is to happen, when is your available data you have at your end? Data access and sharing policy. Almost every policy that revolves around it. Our terms of service and everything. You can take the time to go through it. When you click on it, it's going to display the policy for you. You can have a quick look, and we update this annually. So we keep refining it to suit your confidence, and we want to make sure you are working with a system that is safe. That is why we put these policies in place. If you find anything contrary to these policies, kindly reach to our team and we will look into it as soon as possible. Right. So these are the features we wanted to bring to your attention on this session of Edulink Connect. I've talked a lot. It's time for me to take your feedback and questions, if any. So just quickly brushing on the features we talked about before I take the questions. The first feature that we mentioned was the this was not actually a feature, it has always been there. Whenever you are visiting the page and you see that blue play icon there, kindly click on it. You click on it and that should show you a video of how that page works. So whenever you're on the page and you don't understand what this page is, click on that video or that blue link on top, and it's going to play the video for you to understand, okay, this is why it does this and that. Right. And then we move on to the attendance. When you're marking attendance, how would you know whether you've already marked it or not? So when you go to students and you go to attendance, you go to mark attendance, you select your class and the date you are marking attendance. Now there is a small note that have been attached on top here. So when always check the total not marked. When you see the total not marked to be 0, it means you've marked it already, because that is telling you nothing is there for you to mark. You said you already marked it. But if I search for different dates and I get the total not, I've already marked this as well. Cool. I'm a good teacher, isn't it? Do my work. Cool. Right, let's check on the C's. Perfect. So total not marked 33. It means I've not marked my attendance for the C's. And I need to quickly check and mark that right away. So that's one of the features we highlighted. Secondly, the attendance analytics for administrators. This helps you know teachers that have not submitted their attendance for a particular day. So if I search on the 13th, for instance, I'll be able to see, okay, class 1 have submitted their attendance, class 2 have marked it, class 3 have marked it. Now, crèche, nursery 1, 2, 3, the rest have not marked it. That's why they are all yellow, yellow, yellow. And if you want to also check it according to date range, you have it down here. That's another great feature. We move on to talk about the guardians, linking guardian to a student, so that when you are sending messages to guardians through the SMS, you will find it very, very, very easy. And then finally, next we talked about the exam position. So when you go to academics and you go to reports, now we've added the positions to it. Yeah, so we showed how the positions list all the students and who was first, who was second, who was third, up to the, and you have that. You can export it or you can print it. This also works for classes with stream like A, B, C. It tells you the overall students and how you would like to also have a look at that. From there, we talked about the EOD reports. When you go to finances, end of day reports, that tells you your end of day summary. So for the accountants, this is very, very handy for you. It tells you you'll be able to do your day closure very quickly. EOD gives you total income expenses for a particular day. You can change the date. So say if I want to check on Monday, I click on Monday and then I'll select Monday again. So the dates range for Monday, I'll be able to know. And then you can print that as well. And then finally, we touched on Edulink policies. These are the policies that guide the system. So these are the new features we wanted to bring to your attention. From this point forward, we're going to take questions, and if there is any, we will be answering them. So I am going to stop sharing and we are going to take questions if there is any. So stop sharing and let's take questions. Kindly ask your questions if you have any.